Hi, my name is Naomi, and today we will talk about the book of Pride and Prejudice. This book is appearing here. Uh, so that you can buy it on Amazon, local bookstores, Mercado Libre. Also, you can get it in PDF. And okay, let's go talk about the book. I'm so excited to talk about this book because I really like it. Okay, Pride and Prejudice is a masterpiece of the English writer Jane Austen. Is the author. Goes background it's the life of the English bourgeois at the beginning of the 19th century. It should be noted that when the writer wrote this book, at first she did not call herself in 1796, she called it First Impressions. Las primeras impresiones fue lo primero que ella nombró el libro. They had to throw many audits, correcting many things until in 1813 she took it out and calling it Pride and Prejudice. Después de eso pasó muchísimas auditorías y eso salió, al final ya le dieron el nombre de Orgullo y Prejuicio. The plot Pride and Prejudice revolves around the Bennet family, made up of a couple and their 5 daughters, Jane, Elizabeth, Mary, Katie, and Lydia. The story takes place in a rural part of England at the beginning of the 19th century that I will tell you before. Elizabeth Bennet, the second daughter, is a protagonist, a beautiful, proud young woman with a strong and a very great personality for her time. Lizzie, as Elizabeth is called by her loved ones, is just about the social conventions of her time. And her mother, observing her daughters' opinions and attitudes, considers her a hopeless case in terms of her change of getting a husband. It is important to remember that in England, at the time in this story, a woman's only social role was a mother and wife, and she had no scope for professional ambitions. So to start talking about a book, we first have to meet the characters, right? So who are they? Let's go with the first one. The first one is Elizabeth. Elizabeth. I will put you the picture right here. She's the protagonist of the novel and the second oldest of 5 sisters. Elizabeth Bennet is cheerful, witty, sharp, bold, and intelligent. However, her pride causes an prejudice that jeopardizes her happy futures with Darcy. The second is Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy. Darcy is an extremely wealthy aristocrat who is proud, healthy, and extremely conscientious, like at the beginning of the novel. However, he has a strong sense of the honor and virtue as a saint, and for justice that helps him control his pride after Elizabeth tries him for his narrows. Then we have Jane Bennet. So Jane Bennet is the eldest of the Bennet sisters. She's a beautiful, kind, humble, selfless, always in a good mood. His good nature does, in fact, result in a certain level of naivety, and especially when it comes to recognizing the evil of others. Mr. Wickman. Mr. Wickman is an officer with a regiment based at Merrington. He possesses a charm that embellishes his dissolute and untrustworthy personality. He also spreads false rumors about Darcy in Hertfordshire and Merrington. We have also Mr. Bingley, okay. Him, like his beloved Jane, Charles Bingley is a kind and a good-natured person. Class difference do not concern him. Despite his extraordinary wealth, his virtue proves to be his vice at the times, as a modesty makes him easily swayed by opinions of others. Sorry. Miss Bennet. Miss Bennet is a foolish and frivolous woman. Una persona muy frívola. Miss Bennet, she lacks any sense of property and does not care to provide his daughters with a proper education. Instead, she is solely concerned with the security and profitable marriage for them. And then we have a Mr. Bennet. Mr. Bennet is an intelligent man with good sense. Mr. Bennet shows an opportunity disinterest in most of his family, like besides Elizabeth, and he looks tired after many decades married to Miss Bennet. Okay, Lydia. Lydia is the youngest of the Bennet sisters. Silly and flirtatious. She's indulged his every whim without considering the consequence. And she's a Miss Bennet's favorite daughter because they share the same frivolous interest. We have Kitty. Catherine. Kitty is the same person. Kitty Bennet is the second youngest Bennet daughter. She reveals little of her own personality. Instinctively, he imitates Lydia in almost everything until Lydia leaves of Bridgerton. Mary is the middle sister. She's strangely solemn and pedantic. She doesn't like to go out into society, and she prefers to spend her time as the narrator of Pride and Prejudice has a personality and that it's permeably within the novel. According to Machiavelli, the narrator is the one who chooses the point of the view, so a specific way to see things in a certain angle. In a social context of the 19th century, author is that of the aristocracy in the victorious rulers of 10 countries, country communities, governed so paternalistic. This is also the environment that he reflects in his works and young people who read it. And novels, actions, dances, meet young people and look for a good party, following the linear plan is so correctly represented in the Pride and Prejudice of Judge Shoes a note of a specific English social sector, and that of people of good rural upbringing, which limits the north with the aristocracy and the south with the middle class. In this description of the social structure, patrimonialism and the family property play of a fundamental role within the family agrarian economy. The Industrial Revolution and liberalism have not yet developed, and therefore we cannot just speak of modernization of society. But what yes, we can glimpse at a Jane Austen's novel are the preludes of capitalism. In my opinion, I feel that the social norms that were proposed to the story were not right. Because they were based more on what they could offer economically than emotionally. I don't know if you understand. O sea, quieren dar más, quieren ofrecer más económicamente que ofrecer lo sentimental y las personas esperan más lo económico que lo sentimental. And at the time, more women could not think beyond having children, cleaning, nothing professional. I will tell you before, and they by themselves, they do not make money. So, es muy triste. The climax about this story, the younger sister Lydia, with a feeling of romantic infatuation, loves with Wigman's Scott, but Darcy makes sure that they marry, and finally also Jane and Bingley get married too. You know, being here thinking about the conflicts that the story has, I will base myself more generally, and since its main will be the relationships motivated by love and money. They can be promiscuous in pity, covered up by the veil of bourgeois society. It is worth mentioning that my favorite part is when Lydia finds love. I don't know why, but that's one of my favorites. One of the details that I saw in the most in this story was that many got married, but that not all of them promise happiness, and that ideal soulmates and money meant. This story was surprising for me. Since one does not expect such things to happen. Jane, the author, have a lot of her Saudade story became one of the best in the world. And I feel that the values that she pointed to the story and to the characters was love, affinity of the characters, and economic security. Pride and Prejudice teaches us that love can be stronger than any other negative feeling. So I want to read you a phrase that I really like and referring to this book. Okay, the phrase say, I don't mind walking, there are not distances when you have a reason. I was very moved reading this book, and I was captivating for the beginning. I love it, and the author, I feel that she did a very good job. And the title is very consistent with the story. And finally, I want to recommend this book. And read it. I sure you will love it. And when you finish reading, it will see that differently a little of his life. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you are really like it and that you learn about more this book. Bye.